On April 20th, the Cannabis Reform Coalition held the 22nd Annual Extravaganja Festival. The festival, which advocates ending the drug war and legalizing marijuana, attracted approximately 6,000 people to the Amherstown Green. The event showcased bands and speakers, while food vendors and artisans set up shop around the event.
It's fun. Oh, it's nice. It's a good, there's a lot of vendors, a lot of arts and crafts and food. Because it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, you need good food vendors, and then you need good arts and crafts vendors to make a full-on thing. So it's kind of behind the scenes is what it's fun. Because you have the music, but then you also have all the people here vending, where it's kind of like a show in and of itself.
Like I said, it's a self-culture, and this is a place for people to express their artistic abilities. Between here and this being a smaller event, but we still have some glass blowers here. Good place to come showcase. We've got a lot of people here this year.
Artisan Justin Mowers paid about $70 to the CRC to set up at the event, saying that while the fee for vendors varies depending on how much space they need, it is worth the cost, as events like these are great for business. A strong supporter of full legalization, Mowers is optimistic about the future of his business, but expressed that legal restrictions and a stigma attached to his line of work has made life as a glassblower far from easy.
It was going great until the feds started busting people. The past 5 years has picked up. It's been easier. It's been underground because, people were getting in trouble and we were getting arrested for just making glass pipes. So it's getting better now. Hopefully, the initiative's going well. We've got 2 states legal. We're decrim here.
Attorney Dick Evans, one of the 6 prominent figures who spoke at the event, echoes Mowers' optimism and envisions that fully legalizing marijuana will socially and economically benefit society.
It's a great time to be young and be coming of age like you, because the ground is shifting so rapidly under this edifice of prohibition, and it's going to become tumbling down very soon. I would love to see the university get behind this burgeoning industry, this brand new industry, and I would love to see the business school take a strong interest in it. Maybe offer a few courses on the marijuana business and where it is and where it's possibly going, and what the job opportunities are and the professional opportunities. Because there's a job for everybody in this industry, whether you're a chemist, or a mathematician or a computer type. There's something for everybody.
Only 6 weeks before the Extravaganja Festival, Blarney Blowout attracted about 2,000 partiers to the townhouse apartments. On the surface, the 2 events seem inherently similar. However, while the Blarney Blowout crowd was a third the size of Extravaganja's, 3 times more arrests were made. The St. Patrick's Day celebration was met with a strong police opposition and disapproval from the university, while Extravaganja was widely accepted by the community. UMass spokesman Ed Lagaskowski argued that Blarney Blowout and Extravaganja are unrelatable events.
One is a registered student organization that has a history of helping organize this event, and it has been peaceful, and there are good relations with the town, and clearly has not affected our admissions numbers or perception of the university, I don't think, in a negative way. I mean, there's a certain opinion and advocacy in that, and that's fine. But the Blarney Blowout is something that obviously resulted in some spillover bad behavior. It just encourages people to do the wrong thing.
Many attribute the differences between the 2 events to the differences between alcohol and marijuana consumption.
Well, I think there's quite a distinction. In the first place, I don't think people are nearly as likely to act out badly here as they are when they're consuming alcohol. And I think any police officer will tell you the same thing.
It basically can turn into a riot pretty quick, where alcohol-induced behavior that becomes destructive and riotous. You don't tend to see that in the Extravaganja. I don't know if that's because they're smoking instead of drinking. I don't know. I guess my own personal opinions on that, but certainly alcohol-fueled parties are problematic.
While Extravaganja is put on by the Cannabis Reform Coalition, a registered student organization that receives funding from the Student Government Association, UMass officials are adamant that the event does not reflect the position of the university.
It seems to me in the circles that I'm involved in is, I think they try to distance themselves from it, from That's how I hear it. It's, you know, many times I hear them say, well, they are an RSO, but this isn't something that we're putting on, and it's kind of distanced.
UMass should most definitely support funding of any activities that promote discussion and debate about important social issues. And this is a vitally important social and political and legal issue that has not received the debate, the discussion that it deserves.
The UMass administration and the police department attribute the peacefulness of Extravaganza to the organization and communication between the CRC and the police department, which begs the question, if planning had gone into this year's Blarney Blowout, would it have unfolded differently?
Well, our view in the administration is there shouldn't be a Blarney Blowout. An event created to encourage people to drink, to potentially binge drink at 11 o'clock in the morning in a faux event isn't constructive. This is not an event that we think should be held, that should be encouraged. We think it's just bad judgment. And it's not something that we advocate for. So communicating to people in terms of how to supposedly participate or have a good Blarney blowout is not something that we're interested in.
Pronovost disagrees, arguing that if some major changes were made, Blarney Blowout could continue as a UMass tradition.
So if people truly want to continue that and make a tradition of it, then hopefully a group of student leaders are going to get together and say, okay, how can we do this in a responsible way? Where could we have an event like this that's going to be safe, you know? Whether the university says, all right, we'll allow you to use the grass by the stadium, or whether you rent a place, I don't know. But that would be the only way to sustain something like that, to do it properly. But there'd have to be some type of control mechanisms to, you know, make an attempt to keep the underage people out of there, you know. How do you handle emergencies? What are you doing for this? What are you doing for that? I mean, it can be done. I mean, heck, they pulled off Woodstock, right?